Do you like magic and recycling? Well, today you are in luck! My name is Anya and I will share with you how I made my organic swamp witch costume. I put this outfit together for our local Halloween themed event. All the pieces of this outfit are either second-hand, upcycled or handmade. We're gonna start by making the head, which is the star of this outfit. First, I started with making the pattern for the top part, and by making, I of course mean just winging it and sewing it together. Then I stuffed some foam in there to check out the shape, and I got a bunch of foam stuck in my hair after that. I moved on to the bottom part of the head, which is just a circle. I ironed on some very sturdy interfacing that is used to make bags on both sides. Then I had some negotiation about the size of it, and this is what I decided on. After that, I made some adjustments on the top part until I got it how I wanted to look. Then I tore it apart and retraced it with adjustments on scrap fabric and sturdy interfacing and sewed it together. Here it is all sewn together, and as you can see, it's standing up nicely on its own. For the curly end, I used some foam and shaped it into the curl as I was trying it on to make sure it fit. And here it is! Then I reinforced the circle part with some plastic bones. I sewed some scraps of fabric I had lying around and then inserted the bones there. I then took some black fabric I had lying around to go over the top of the head so the white color won't be seen through. I also traced the curve in leftover black fabric. I then fusioned two wires like this to make it more sturdy and sewed it around the circle. This is so I can shape the head however I want and it will stay like I want it to stay. Then I scrapped some old project to put black fabric over the circle. I sewed it on while being very careful around the wire, then I hand sewed the edge on the inside. Then I attached the top and circle part of the head together. I sewed it few times on hand as well on the machine. Let me introduce a new character in our anime. Her name is Gertruda and she was donated to me by my hairdresser. I am very grateful for her, but she terrifies me. So with the head now finally in one piece, we're going to start crocheting t-shirt yarn on top to get a nice and unique texture. I started by making a little circle and then sewing it on the top of the curl and then started crocheting around. And here is how that looks like. I will link the tutorial for this in the description if you're interested in this technique. So because of the curvy shape, I couldn't just go around and around, I had to stop and adjust the crochet to the shape. I also sewed it on every so often so it's more secure. And here we have my familiar. She blessed this project by shoving her butt in it. She will also bless you if you subscribe right now. The t-shirt yarn I made from old t-shirts that got either ripped in some places or got so worn out that they were no longer usable for wearing, as well as leftover black jersey fabric. I would also like to mention all the fabric I used in this project I already had and I upcycled, except for the interfacing. I haven't used it in a while, so I had to go get it. The interfacing is very useful. I use it a lot when making cosplay, since the anime gravity does not work the same as our gravity, and the interfacing makes fabric really stiff and able to hold itself up. So we then keep crocheting and crocheting and crocheting. So finally the top of the head is done and I'll be moving on to the circle. This part is easier since for the circle I can just go round and round and round and I don't have to stop and adjust since there are no curves. But I did secure them with the stitch every so often so it stays in place. And then we keep going around and around and around with crocheting and sewing. I'm not gonna lie, this process took years of my life, but it really looks so good, and I was able to upcycle so many materials and transform them into something great. I stopped when I was almost finished, but I will now move on the inside of the circle, and that's because only after I sew that in, I will know exactly how much more crocheting I need. So for the inside of the circle, I used some leftover curtains I had from shortening some old curtains, so they fit in my sewing room. I airbrushed the fabric first with grey, then I accidentally got some drops on there, but I actually really liked how it looks, so I just put drops everywhere in the end. I also went in with some purple color. I accidentally spilled some paint on it, and I actually liked how that looked, so I went in with sponge and some more paint. So great painting process, everything went wrong, but it actually ended up looking very nice, and this truly describes how I live my life. While the paint was drying, I traced the pattern to dress the inside of the circle, cut out my fabric and sewed it together. I then gathered both sides of my painted curtain. I then overlocked all the raw edges. I hand sewed the red fabric on the head and then gathered and hand sewed the curtain on as well. Then I crocheted a little bit more so I can finish the head nicely with hand sewing the crochet part on the edge. I just finished some details so the gathering was nicer, and with that the base of the head was done and I just needed to make some more details. For the details I bought some fake flowers. First I took the red flower apart and airbrushed it with black and purple. After that dried, I put the flower back together. Then I took the other flower apart. I painted one side purple and the other side green. I painted the sticks black and then put it all together. Then my boyfriend 3D printed this raven scarf for me. I'll put the link to the files in the description. I really love it, I love the details on it, and I did paint it off camera. I didn't want to glue these details directly onto the hat since I put so much work on the crochet texture. So instead I glued them on this piece of felt I had and sewed them on the hat so it can be removed if I want to use the hat in some different way. I also added some black feathers to this. And here it is all glued together and finished. Now for hand sewing it onto the hat. With that, the hat was done and I'm so happy with it. It's truly one of my favorite pieces I ever created. Here is, oh hello, here is the back. We will be upcycling. I got it in second-hand store and she has some damage on the straps, but that's okay because I will be tying it around my waist. I cut off the damaged strap and I'm not vibing with this brown, or any brown actually, so I decided to dye it. First I went in with a sponge. Then I decided I don't like the sponge anymore and remembered I have airbrush, so I just finished it with airbrushing. The wig I used was given to me by my cousin. She said she doesn't like the color of the wig on her skin, so she gave it to me for my shenanigans, so thank you so much. I sewed the press on top of my wig as well as on the inside of the hat. I do this anytime I wear something on my head with the wig so it doesn't fall off. Now, for the outfit, as I mentioned, the entire outfit is from whatever I had at home or what I got second hand, so I'm just gonna break apart the outfit. The shoes are just my winter heels I got last year, the skirt and petticoat I made for cosplay, and the overskirt I made for another cosplay. I got the shirt in second-hand store and the top I had at home, and I believe I also got it in a second-hand store years ago. I attached the scarf I got second-hand on the back for the more witchy vibes. I love the bag, it holds my phone, and with that off I went to an event. The event was called Edge of Night and was a Halloween-themed event organized by Sexy Amulet. The skirt and the hat were so huge I had hard time walking around. Also, my field of vision was obstructed by my hat and wig, so I couldn't really move and I couldn't really see. But will this stop me from being extra as fuck next time? No, probably not. The decorations were really cute, and there was also a miniature painting competition, and my boyfriend won. There was also a costum competition, which I entered, and here is my performance.
Okay, živim v močvirju, ker so cene najemnin zelo velike in je to vse, kar si lahko privoščim. Ful dober del tega je, da mi ni treba plačati pač elektrike in interneta, ker ga pač v močvirju ni. Samo 800 evrov na mesec, to je stil v trenutni situaciji. In pa jem samo lokalno vzgojene otroke. Hvala, da ste prišli na moj stand-up.
You can clearly see I am not only a sewing genius, but also a comedic genius. And I got third place in the competition, which I am really excited about and very grateful. So thank you so much. I'm so extremely happy about this whole look, especially about the hat. I really put a lot of work and time into it, and it turned out exactly how I wanted it to. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!